So let's see. Well, we were talking about opening up with Linda about opening up the lungs and everything. Let's maybe have you pull out, if you have helichrysum, let's use helichrysum. If you have something like German chamomile or yarrow, um, even lavender, something kind of relaxing and anti-inflammatory. You don't have one of those, we'll find something. Spikenard could even be used. And let's just do a little exploratory, kind of like how we were talking about with Linda, where she was having a hard time expanding her rib cage and her lungs. So the very first thing you'll do is take some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on your lungs.
Somebody's asking tarragon.
Yeah, sure. You could use tarragon. You can even use poplar if you're feeling fancy. I usually use helichrysum for this personally. So you're inhaling, your awareness is on your lungs. We're trying to use helichrysum. Mm. So, and then move your awareness up to your throat. Hit your throat. Take nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then drop down to that little notch down at the base of your neck in between the two collarbones. Maybe I should put it. Okay, so you're going from the base of the throat, go out to where the chest and shoulder meet, like that little crease right here. You're doing both sides. So you go to this area, both sides, and start just taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Now, slide your way into the armpits. Your awareness is on your armpits. You're still inhaling with your awareness on the armpits. Begin to explore each side of your ribs. Like if you go from under the armpits all the way down to the bottom of the rib cage. Just your awareness is on both sides of your body, just the rib cage area, just the sides. Now, as you're inhaling on your ribs, start to just be aware. Where do you feel a heaviness or a denseness on the sides of your ribs? Usually it's going to be a little bit closer to the armpit, like the bottom of the shoulder blade. So not completely up here, but like more in this area. But you're not trying to hit a particular spot. You're trying to explore and like go, where do I feel a tension? I'm just going to, yeah, it feels good. Feels good though. And then anytime when you're working the sides of the ribs like this, the energetic component is go to the back solar plexus. It's not necessarily like oh, this is a protocol, but like if you're exploring certain areas of the body, here that back solar plexus definitely contributes to some of that tension in that area. So I would say go to the back solar plexus, which is the mid back area below the shoulder blades, and you're taking some nice, long, slow, deep breaths. And then let's have you go back to the sides of your ribs, sides of your rib cage. If there's an area that really jumps out at you, explore that area. If not, do the whole sides of your ribs. And go to that back solar plexus again, that mid back area. Now, come to the chest, not necessarily the heart chakra. Feel like the muscles of your chest, like across this whole area. Really tap into the chest muscles and take nice, long, slow, deep breaths, side to side. And then just be still for a moment and take a nice, long, slow, deep breath. How'd that feel for you? Yeah. So Samantha's feeling sleepy. But Linda, I'd be curious, I don't know if you put something on topically. I mean, we've been in the middle of the stream, so I assume not. But how does that make the breath feel for you? Okay. Um, okay. Anybody else want to share or ask questions? We're going to do a little bit more, but let's talk about this piece first.
Yeah, go ahead, Donita.
Hey, hey.
Um, this was lovely. I used helichrysum, but I still feel maybe maybe I was too distracted. But I feel a bit of tightness in the chest area. Is that
So, like in the center here, or
I think it's more like diaphragm, I think.
like low?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So I don't know if it's a
Okay.
cord or is it cords
Well,
or
we're going
is
to
it
do another thing, so that should start to hit the bronchioles and the diaphragm a bit more.
okay?
So, yeah. I
Okay,
mean, this
stop.
does unwind more of the skeletal muscle and the fascia. I mean, it still hits the respiratory tract itself and reduces inflammation. The other thing that's nice about using helichrysum like this is inhaling it into the lungs. Is if there's like kind of thickened mucus in the lungs, it will make it more liquid and make it easier for it to expel out.
Oh, talking about mucus, I after on Saturday night,
Hmm.
class Saturday night, I woke up at 4 in the morning and I started coughing. I was coughing for a while with like stuff coming out random.
Productive, like the
Yes,
mucus
yes,
coming out.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, this might be a thing for you for a little bit. Like the other one that's a little bit of a sleeper for like really like kind of hardened or thickened mucus is alternate it with mugwort. Inhale mugwort into the lungs, and mugwort will do it. Yeah.
Make me cough or pull it out.
Well, it would make the mucus more fluid so that you're able to get it out.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I was like, oh, it's tightening my lungs. I'm not doing it. That's the
Yeah.
saboteur. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So this is there anybody else or okay, so let's pull out like larch or hyssop, frankincense, sitka, anula, Omi visnaga, German chamomile, myrtle. Feels like I'm leaving a couple out. I don't know. Let's see what you have here, and if not, we'll come up with some others, but there's a bunch of choices there.
Someone's asking the trees blend, would that work?
We want something that's going to open up the bronchioles, like bronchioles and relax the diaphragm. So Tolu balsam, that would be another one. Okay. So again, begin inhaling. Your awareness is on your lungs. Which one you? Hmm. Now we're going to go up and do the sinuses, but we're going to do a couple like variations of it. So go up between the eyebrows. You're going to take long, slow, deep breaths with your awareness between the eyebrows. Now kind of sink a little bit deeper into the sinuses, like above the eyes, below the eyes, and just even deeper in this area. Just go like deeper into the head. Now let that go for a moment and do your whole face, just your whole face. How's that feel on your face? Keep inhaling on your face. We hold a crazy amount of tension in your faces. So we're trying to unwind the stress and the tension, open up the sinuses. Then just pause and let it go for a moment. Let's go ahead and inhale on the face again. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. You're covering your whole face. Now, move your awareness over to your jaws, where they hinge in front of the ears. Your awareness is on your jaws. You're doing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Just be still for a moment. Go to the back heart. You're taking nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Your awareness is on the back solar, mid back area. Nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Yeah, let's pause. I mean, we could do a little bit more, but I want to give you ability to share experiences or ask questions. Unmute yourself or type in.
Greg,
Hey, hey,
the face is amazing.
isn't it?
Can I use any other oils just on the
You
face?
could use like helichrysum, things that would take tension out, like helichrysum, is where does it sounds wintergreen? Wintergreen might work okay. Poplar could work okay. I mean, you could do the things like marjoram and um, I like to use petitgrain for this sometimes, where you just like breathe into it. And the reason being that, petitgrain is an antispasmodic. Petitgrain is the leaves of a citrus. So standard petitgrain is usually orange, and then there's like a lemon, and there's even different kinds of orange leaves depending on the growth cycle of the tree, right? And then there's a mandarin and one of the lime, and so it's very antispasmodic, but the thing with the different petitgrains is they also are very supportive of shifting over to that rest and repair mode. You know how like we'd use tarragon or something like that. Petitgrain's another way of doing that. And so doing it on the face, like it feels good. Like a lot of times I'll rotate the ones that I do. I like helichrysum for this a lot. But I do throw a little bit of petitgrain at it sometimes. Another one that's kind of fun is basil. Do basil on the face as well.
What about universal healer?
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's mostly poplar with a bit of bay laurel in it. So yeah, you could totally use that. Yeah.
Any other?
Anything that's like fascially releasing or reduces tension, because it's not just muscular tension. You're taking out a type of tension out of the nervous system. As we get about like at the halfway point with the ORIC program, we're going to pause and we're going to like for just like a week or two, and we're still going to do ORIC programs, but we're not going to focus on a particular program. We're going to do like a deeper dive in working the program, like on the parts of your body, how you go left, front, right, back, and the front, like your chest, your abdomen, all those things. But man, if you really take the tension out of your face, that front side really lets go. And so we're going to be doing a deeper dive into the patterns of the ORIC programs, like to make the process even stronger. So, but I guess what I'm saying is play with the face a bunch. Play with the face for sinuses, play with the face for the jaws. Um, I think it even impacts like brain function, and it has an impact on emotions because we hold a lot of emotion in our face, a lot of emotion. And so, I've done this with Melissa. That was kind of nice, or LA, you know, um, feels very nice on the face.
A few weeks ago, after a class, you suggested I would do neroli on the
Yeah,
jaw.
neroli is great for the jaws. You could use that for the face.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I was gonna ask because it
Yeah.
gave me a fitting
Sure. Sure.
headache that I had to process. But
Yeah. Yeah. Neroli's
neroli
great
on the
for.
face,
Neroli is one of the best things for relaxing the jaws. I mean, at least for myself, I've tried probably 30 things, and nothing touches neroli.
so that will be fantastic for the
Yeah.
face. Perfect. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Love this. Where was it? Where was it? And held on the jaws. I should do this and 100 other things
Yeah.
more often.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Oh my God, I hear you. like every night I try to cram in as much as I can, just like you guys. And, you know, some days I do well, and some days it's like 5 minutes and then I go to bed. And so, it depends on the day. But, the thing that's kind of nice is like when you do have a little bit of extra time, um, there's things that you could jump into and like take the opportunity to jump into it. Like sometimes if in the morning I wake up a little early, I'm like, well, I could lay in bed and pretend sleep, or I can get up and do a process. And so a lot of times I'll do that. And it's usually I do things that I didn't plan on doing, but it's like makes me feel good, makes me feel nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually feel, I don't know if it's obvious, but like less tension in my overall face and jaws. But even my sinuses don't feel as pressury.
Right. Right. And we really didn't focus on the sinuses very long. We really did more of like the face and the jaws, and you unwind that stuff. There's also, we've done it in processes before, but like if you go directly down below the eye under the cheekbone, there's a little minor chakra there too. I find that just hitting the face works, but like if you ever want to get specific, go to that little spot. But you know, is there a couple more, maybe we could just still do a few more minutes on the face.
I
Can I
say
ask
let's.
a question?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, sure.
Um, what's the 911 oil to have by my bedside? Because when you wake up, my brain doesn't
For
remember.
what? For
Well, just
911.
in the morning, I wake up and I'm
Oh,
still in the,
I do probably rosemary or basil. Um,
and just inhale.
cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamon.
Oh, just
Yeah.
cinnamon would be too
Peppermint, something like that.
good.
For me, I usually go rosemary or basil.
If you're still in bed and you just woke up and you can't sleep, but
Well, I would say when I was younger, how like some people wake up and in 5 minutes, they're like, put me in, coach, put me in, I'm ready to go.
no.
I'm a little bit that way now. I enjoy my slow starts in the morning, but if I had to, I can get up but in my younger years, I was like a lame cow. And rosemary cured me of that. Yeah, totally.
Well, I don't, yeah, I'm awake generally,
Yeah.
but more like to clear the dreams and clear the night off. Is it like
Oh,
helichrysum?
for something like that,
Just to kind of shake off the night and get me
I
going.
see. Well, again, rosemary helps bring it forward
Yeah.
if that's what you're wanting to do. If you're just wanting to release things,
I'll just yeah, yeah.
like ginger lily, tuberose, osmanthus, things
Mm.
that are a little heady, in the beginning of the day.
That's
But
gonna
like,
that's gonna put me in a la la
yeah,
land straight
yeah.
away.
But if you're talking about like working through dreams or processing through something in the dream, those would be the go-to things.
Uh,
Narcissus,
oh,
yeah,
fancy.
lotus, one of the lotuses, blue
And
lotus in
then
particular.
and then hit it with rosemary to wake up, right?
What's that?
And then hit it with some rosemary to just bring you back to planet
Yeah,
Earth.
like when you start having your coffee or getting up and, brushing your teeth or whatever, then I'd do the rosemary. And
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Greg.
And a question did come in. Would the cardiac blend oil be appropriate to use for an unspecified EKG abnormality just prior to a knee surgery or after?
yeah, you could do that, do the 4 quadrants. Um, things like spikenard, lang lang, neroli, um, anula. There's a type of rosemary camphor, not regular rosemary or rosemary verbena, but rosemary camphor. It can be good for that. And yeah, I'd say inhale it quite a bit with your awareness on the chest. Um, when that's kind of going on. Oh, Melissa, that's the other one. I usually have people take a little bit of Melissa with that as well. Sometimes I have them alternate between Melissa and Neroli, but that can be a little bit expensive. So yeah, those are good choices. But even if you just had the cardiac support, I mean, it's got several of those things in there, so you could use that even for the other parts of the process. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Taking Melissa kind of regular internally is helpful, be it the oil or the tincture. And then another one, lobelia tincture, because it relaxes the lungs, the bronchioles, the diaphragm, the muscle tissue. And so like even when we're talking about something like this, you have to take into account that it's not just that system, but it can be something to do with the nerves. It could be something to do with the immune system. Like, for example, um, sometimes with certain kinds of blood pressure, if you calm down the thymus, which is a gland behind your breastbone, it will lower the blood pressure. And so it's not on all kinds of blood pressure, but when that gland's like overstimulated, uh, it can elevate the blood pressure. So things like for that, probably your best bet for calming down the thymus is like blue tansy, dark blue tansy or blue tansy, either one. And so, sometimes some of these things we just have to start exploring it and, moving away from a symptom and really looking at like, it's kind of like what I think I was saying to Lolly is, she's putting helichrysum on an area, not just when it hurts, you're trying to recondition the tissue and the responses so that you can step away and it's just like, it's good, right? So I would start treating like the thymus and mm, those things that we talked about for the heart and the cardiac support doing the quadrants. And over a period of time, see how that treats you. Yeah. And in a couple of weeks, we are doing what is it, immune, cardiac, cardiovascular system, immune system, and endocrine system. And so we will be addressing that in that free class. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, we have a couple of free classes these next few weeks that are rock stars. Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
I think we're going to jump over to the Stara prayer petition blessing. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you guys had fun. It's always fun doing those little explorations that, we don't necessarily do in class, but we're going to be trying to do more of them as the weeks and months go by. So take care, you guys. Hopefully we see you tomorrow night or on the weekend with a free mashup class. Even if you haven't done any of the free classes, just jump in with us.